I don't waste money on IT. As an independent IT consultant, I tend to see it all. Even when you think you have seen everything, life deals something different. This was the case when my cell recently rang with a new customer. Now, I've been in the business long enough that my client base has become stable. I don't really need to solicit new business, and the ones that come and go tend to balance each other out. Gone are the days when I would actively seek out new accounts. But, I still get referrals or people find me online, and if it sounds like work I can slide into the portfolio, I'll sometimes take it. The call, so when my phone rang one morning with an unknown number, I let it go to voicemail. Same number called again about 10 minutes later, this time leaving a message. Hey IT guy. Found your website and it looks like you are local. Describe small business close by, and need some help with a situation that must be dealt with today. Give me a call back so I can get a quote. My day was light, so I take the bait. Figured it is worth the conversation, if at least for business development purposes. Hello, this is the IT guy returning your call. Yeah. Thanks. See, my network is down and I have a few computers that seem to have viruses. My usual internal IT worker is unavailable and I need someone to get this up and running ASAP. Okay. You would be a new client, and since I don't know your systems or setup, I would need to do some intake work to diagnose what is going on. That will take a few hours at least, and then I'll have an estimate for the fix. For new clients asking for emergency work of this nature, I require a minimum of 3 full days of pay. Look, I just need someone to come in and get the internet back up. I don't need a full analysis of anything. Sure, you can do that in just a few hours. I'm coming in blind and it isn't that simple. Isn't it your job to know how to fix this kind of stuff? At this point this guy is getting on my nerves, so I consider declining the job, but before I get there decide I'll just double the cost and see if he bites. My new client deal is 3 full days, 24 hours, at my emergency rate, prepaid for this type of work. Usually I would just do it straight time, but this guy gets the jerk bonus. If you are interested, let me know and I'll send you over the scope of work and we can arrange payment. What? That is going to be like $10,000. I can't pay that. Then I would suggest you try taking your computers down to local tech store that does low-end repair rather cheap, and hope for the best. Wait, I'll take the deal. I need this all back up and running. It is costing me thousands to not be able to process sales right now. Just come over ASAP. Later I would learn, internal IT equals owner's kid, unavailable equals owner's kid. Away at college the site, I pull up to a small office and am greeted by the owner of the business. He is a little more cheerful until I present him with paperwork and ask for the check. Begrudgingly he fills out everything and hands over the check saying, now for that you will get every working again, right? The scope of work provides that I will make reasonable efforts to resolve these issues within the time allotted. I'll give you regular updates. This place was a disaster. The network closet was a mess. Nothing was racked. Just a jumble of switches and cables. I think I found the firewall, but it appears to be a simple Linux box. This will take some time to sort, so I head out the rest of the site. Workstations are all old and at end of life. They can still perform some basic applications but have huge security holes due to lack of patching and upgrades. All seem to have some kind of virus or physical defect. These things must be at least 10 years old. I really didn't know a compact branded workstation could last that long. Asked where the server is and get pointed to a machine that is plugged in under another desk. Problem is that it is not even on. Attempts to power it up fail. It is just dead. I spend most of my first day making sense of the network, getting that room at least organized. Figure out how to get on the firewall, an old machine that has Great Firewall of Ron emblazoned on the side. No joke, that was written on the side of the tower in what appeared to be white out. The firewall was so old I had never seen anything like it. Instead of wasting time trying to figure it out, I just deploy a spare SonicWall I had lying around. That, at least, got the internet back up. I briefed the owner at the end of the day. Internet backup at least for now. Backend was going to need some equipment upgrade and workstations were so old they might not even be worth trying to salvage. The server appeared to be completely dead and would need about another day's worth of work to further diagnose. I told him to make a list of business critical functions that must be up because that should be the priority. He did not care for my professional opinion and told me there was nothing wrong with the workstations and the server backup just needed to be restored. He clearly had no understanding about how bad this situation was or what could be done. After giving him a reasonable plan of action, he comes back at me to tell me all my plans are unnecessary. Okay. I ask him what he would like me to do and his answer is fix IT. I can see we are going nowhere fast here and I am losing my patience. But, I throw out one more proposal that I get his workstations in good working order, finish the rack job in the network room, and spend the rest of my time on the server to finish out the engagement. He will have none of it though, ranting that I have no idea what I am doing. This is why I don't spend money on IT. The guy has already prepaid me, and under the terms, if he rejects my proposed work plans, then I can walk with the money. I don't like to do this unless it is necessary, but here it was becoming obvious that was going to be the best way out. We have another tense back and forth, and I de-escalate by saying I'm going to go home for the day, but he should call me tomorrow if he would like to schedule the additional work. It is 3 days later and no call. Nothing. I'm not going to reach back out to him, and I doubt I will ever hear from him. I'll just enjoy the payday and move on to my next client. Story 2. It was working until you arrived. I'm a VoIP installation specialist for a large company. We help with phone solutions and IT solutions for all kinds of businesses. I mainly focus on VoIP support / helping customers with their phones, but occasionally I like to help with IT support as well. I love my job and I pride myself on my customer service skills. We recently acquired a small phone customer in our town that we already did IT support for. I had been to this client's place before our phone contract to work on their network and fix a computer. It was maybe a dozen phones that they needed. I got them set up and got their phones ready in no time. The point of contact, we'll just call her Pac, at the business was bit lost when it came to anything IT or phone related, and she was also very rude to IT guys, especially me. The install process is easy. All we do is HOK the phones into their network and possibly attach a power supply if they don't have PO. My phones are already provisioned before I go on site and have all the settings ready. Again, it was small install of about a dozen phones, so it was going to take no time and no hassle since I already knew the layout of their building. I didn't have to make any changes to the phones at all or the network while I was there. It was essentially plug and play. I was midway through the install and on the other side of the building when Pac calls an employee close to me and asks, "Where is our friendly tech guy?" The employee explains to her on the phone that I'm installing phones on their side of the building. Pac is on speaker. I could tell she was frustrated. "Pac, he needs to get over right now and fix this." I respond to her and say I'll be right over and that I'm happy to help. I walk over to her side of the building and immediately as I walk in the door she says, "What in the hell did you do to our network?" Confused, I tried to assure her that I hadn't made any changes and that I was just plugging in phones. "Pac, well, I can't access my special software. I don't have internet." I won't say the name of the software she was using, so I'll refer to them as special software because I don't want to seem like I'm dogging on the software. The software company was just experiencing an outage on this day. I told her I would look at it and see what's going on. She made a smart remark about how it stopped working when I got there. I ignored her comment while I looked at her computer. She still had internet service, but her special software was not working. I could access other sites with no problem. I even called another IT tech from my company and he tried the special software site from the office, and it wouldn't load. We called into the company that manages her special software and their main message said they were currently experiencing outages. I told her about their outage and she flipped her lid on me. "This is your fault. It was working all day with no issues until you arrived," she said to me in a very mean tone. I politely and calmly responded, "You're right. Because me plugging in phones on the other side of your building would affect your special software servers to go down, right? I won't be spoke to this way." She got quiet after I said this because she realized how stupid she sounded. I immediately left her office to get into my car to call my supervisor to explain the situation to him. He knew she had been a problem child before based on what other techs had told him. He advised me to go wait in my car and he would be calling me back. About 15 minutes later, he called me back and he told me to come back to the office. He politely declined to provide them any more service unless she apologized to all our techs who she had yelled at or been difficult with. Apparently, she had said some pretty rude and harsh things to another tech one time when ISP went down. She sent us an email a few days later apologizing and asked for us to come back to finish the phone installation. She left their business shortly after that and we continued to service them. The relationship with the business is much better now. It feels good to know that we could continue the relationship with this client even though the previous Pac tried blame everything on us.